Madison Square Garden, my pop, my grandfather, we saw Diesel beat Bob Backlund in 8 seconds. All right? We were there for that. We were there for the click curtain call. My grandma Ray, Raffaella, R.I.P. She was a big Dusty Rhodes fan. So, and a tryout video that I made showed that Joe DeFranco is talking crap about the Jersey Shore because none of them guys were from Jersey, is how I got my opportunity, bro. But that's what happened. When I get in the ring, give me that 4 minutes, and then we'll call it on the fly.
And they trusted you, obviously.
Vince trusted me and gave me that 4 minutes to do it. Every person that I roasted in that roast, I was expecting to hear Kurt Angle's music at any moment. Because EA don't owe you nothing. The only vowel I'm concerned about is I. And while there is no I in team, there certainly is in EA. And I wouldn't even so much as pinch off a constipation ball for you because I don't owe you nothing. All right? Whatever. Right. I said this promo to Dusty, but I was gunning 90 seconds, and I hit that 90-second mark, and I was like, oh. When I get done with the promo, I'm sitting down, hot shit in my mind, but I just real humble sit down, and everybody's kind of like, what the fuck did we just see? But there was 20 of us. The only ones that made it are Mojo, who played in the NFL, Baron Corbin, who played in the NFL, Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter, and Enzo Amore for the moving truck. And the old timers like Norman Smiley, Nick Dinsmore, Bill DeMott, would be like, what are you doing? Are you trying to kill yourself? What, you're never gonna make it. You're gonna die. You're gonna have a 5-year career. You're never gonna be able to make it through this life. But I was listening to the people, bro. And when I got killed or made a move look crazy, and I took it, I never took the same bump twice, bro. And 9 times out of 10, it was on purpose. And baby faces don't bump, bro. Baby faces flop. Sent me down there, and Hunter specifically said to everyone, he's not a charity case, and if he can't get his shit, do not sign him. Treat him like any other fuckboy coming in off the street. So, sure enough, I got treated like a fuckboy for about a year. And I'm running polls, and I'm running. And Norman Smiley, God bless that man. I mean, that guy is the real deal. He showed up, Norman. He didn't have to be at work until 8 a.m. every day. But he showed up every day at 5:30 in the morning because he knew I'd be there. And our producers, are sitting at a table every Wednesday before we do tapings on Thursday in NXT. And what you say at that taping could get you booked on TV tomorrow. For some people. Could get you a debut or could get you looked at. So those bada boom, blank, blank in the room. How you doing? It's right there. Bada boom, biggest schmuck in the room. How you doing? It doesn't matter what you put there. I got to be able to. The remnants of those words have hung heavy in the titty of Simon Gotch. Okay? He's wearing it right here in his fucking heart. All right? And I see the bitch in his heart when, whenever he opens his mouth and mentions my name. Because that's the only time that anybody gives a fuck about what he's saying. So I gave him the luxury of saying his freaking name for the first time ever in an interview. And I'll end it there. Because I have no ill will towards a guy unless he ever comes out and says that he knocked me out on purpose. Because let's just fucking be clear. That guy hates me. And I don't have hate. I don't have a bone of hate in my body. I also don't have a bitch bone in my thug. I don't have a thuggish, ruggish bitch bone in my body either. And that's what caused the injury. I ran that spot 100 times with Aiden English, and he'll tell you about it. And I would just do a 619 out of the ring and never land the same, and it looked terrible. So if I baseball slide out of the bottom of the ropes, like I hit my head on the second, hit my head on the rope, I catch my elbow underneath the rope. And then right when I start to rotate like Ray on the 619, I let go.
Right.
And then I just spill to the floor. And you could hear a pin drop. Ooh.
Right.
It looks disgusting. I've done it 100 times on live events with Aiden English. Never one time in my life did it with Simon Gotch. The first time I ever did it with him, I ended up in a hospital, knocked out cold with my mother crying, my father crying, everybody not knowing if they're going to be able to tell if I'm going to live or come out of this thing functioning. Since I've left the WWE, let's be clear and frank, I've had offers come to me in pro wrestling, a few of them. and good ones. WrestleMania pay for a few appearances. No bumping, no in-ring work, just microphone shtick work.
Right.
Turned it down. No way. I don't want to do that because I'm passionate about wrestling. I love getting in the ring. I love listening to reactions. And if I ever found out that Simon Gotch did that shit on purpose, if he came out and said that, how you doing? The first time I ever spoke to Bubba and Devon really was after we debuted. So after I cut the promos on them. That was really the first time. And then Bubba came to me and he said, what you just did was lightning in a bottle. And no matter how long you're in this business for, kid, I've been out there for a lot of them. You may never get that shit again. Good shit. And then he just walked away.
That's Bubba. Compare working for Hunter to Vince when you're called up to the main roster. What was the differences?
Night and day.
Right.
All the other wrestlers are like, oh, I got to watch it from the back, behind the curtain, at the monitor. Because, you know, that's the stigma. You got to be a star, right? You don't want to be out there on the other side of the curtain and mixing it up with... But me, I was like, I'm not even a wrestler yet. I'm not a fucking star. I'm making $600 a week. I went to Bill DeMott and I asked if I can get another job. I was like, bro, I'm buried in college debt. Not only said that, he said probably like Greensboro, North Carolina, I think. You know, he said, you know, the location. He covered all his bases, put himself over, put his opponent over, put everyone over, and that's how you build a ticket in a house. But that is Dusty Rhodes being my mentor, me sitting and learning from this guy. That, you know, be good, be bad, be different. I'm always different. Cold, and I mentioned my name in the likes of Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and I mentioned my name in the likes of all these big time names in promo class. The guys that are around me are going, he's a mark. Who the fuck does he think he is, comparing himself to those people? Right? And I'm looking around and going, you idiots. We are under the roof of the Performance Center, and if one of us doesn't come out of this place and be the next Rock, we got no lifeblood in our business. The business needs stars, and that is the lifeblood of our business. But more importantly, the business needs the next Vince McMahon too. So things that happened in FCW or in NXT, whether they were good, bad, or indifferent, they molded me and made me who I am.
Exactly.
And whether I could say a bad thing or a good thing about the guy, how about I don't say anything about him? You know, because he was there, and that's all I need to say. It's all over for me. I walk in the back and little Rob Naylor comes running up to me, the little assistant boy in the back of the FCW, great guy. He goes, John Cena stood up and lost it, and he wants to meet you right now. And I'm like, what? What? Dude, oh, God, dude, do I look good? Run back there, bro. Shake John Cena's hand, and I walk up to him, and he's sitting next to Ryan Ward, the writer who works on NXT at the time. And Ryan Ward, I owe him so much. Ryan Ward, when I said you can't teach that, and I did this with my arm, they did it too. And then the Ryan Ward came back, the writer, and was like, bro, you have to say this every night that we put you out there. And here I am with a guy full of this.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, and we're limited on how much time we get on the microphone, and it feeds into our match. And the biggest thing that I got heat with in the business wasn't even real, bro. I promise you, I pretty much stuck to my times.
Yep.
But business.
Right.
Open up every one of those shows. Sold out houses, NXT, TakeOver, UK. People going ape shit, dude. Oh, NZO Amore. That's where it started.
I remember.
That's where it started. Sold out houses. I made $1,000.50 that week, and I took the 17 grand that I got for my first ever video game check in NXT, the most money I ever saw in my life. I couldn't believe it. 17 grand? What?
Right.
Losing my shit. I paid 10. Do all the flips, dipsy doodas, risk your life all you want. Been knocked out cold on pay-per-view. I've broken my leg, and watch this. You hit, you dance, do whatever you want. But I guarantee you, when I do this, people go a million times crazier than they would if I hit the ropes and did a dive. Guaranteed. We're the number one merchandise sellers in the company, and that is what Vince likes. Money. So if Vince loves John Cena, why does he love John Cena? Because he's the top guy in the company. He makes money. He shows up to work every day, does his job to the best of his ability. Nobody can ever say that Enzo didn't show up to work and get his fucking ass kicked, hop up, and do it again the next night. You know? Ever. Because I could talk it all day. And I'll make you fucking hate me more than anybody ever. You know why? Because I won't hit a single wrestling move in the whole match. I'll kick him in the nuts and pin him. I don't have anything bad to say about Hunter and about Stephanie. I think that fearfully what Hunter was fearful of, in essence, happened. I think he was right. He was like fearful of you. Picture it like this, okay? Wrestling is scripted.
Well, I know
We
that.
beat NXT in ratings.
As far as
facts, hey,
no, I agree.
Hey, we beat NXT in ratings.
I agree
for the first time and only time ever. I'm not lying to you. I'm backing the shit up with the facts. You know, Forbes writes articles, and then WWE hands me scripts as a heel,
right,
to say these statistics.
I'm talking about touring as a brand.
We did tour.
No, you guys did, but it never got.
And then that leaves Mustafa Ali in the ring, and I'm on the outside. And what does he have in the ring? My wig.
Yep.
He puts my wig.
And what was your reaction to that injury when it was happening? Because you went on Twitter, I guess the next night, and you kind of buried him.
I buried him on text, in person, on Twitter. And I think that the most important thing that we take out of this is that in life, you just never know what somebody else is going through. You can't put yourself in somebody else's situation, whether that be physically or mentally,
right?
Because you don't know how they react to things or what's going on. And in my mind, at that time,
because when
I wanted to see Casco be U.S. champ or be Intercontinental champ,
right?
And I knew I was going to 205 Live.
Quick, I would be a horrible interviewer if I didn't ask you about the incident that happened during the 25th. Well, it happened prior, but you walked into the 25th anniversary of the Raw show and. Stuff kind of went south.
So south.
Well,
how the fuck did it go south?
Well, no, I mean just a
south.
Period of time that.
Fuck you! You're in North Jersey right now, dude. You want to go south? Get the fuck out of here. What the hell? I ain't talking about that shit. Okay, so hear this, okay? I already touched on that on the Stone Cold podcast.
Fine. All right.
Try me, Steve. So this guy had a few too many Steve Wises before he walked in here. I think I'm talking about that shit. Understand? I made Real One music. Yep. Phoenix, bury me a G. Phoenix, bury me a G. Answer your questions.
All right.
Every single lyric, if you break it down, you know.
I had to ask, so.
Phoenix and that, and then I answered those questions on the Stone Cold podcast. The reason why I put out music as Enzo now is because that shadow of Real One music was because, first of all, copyright shit I had to deal with at the time and trademark. But when you Google my name with music and all the things that I'm going to be doing going forward, I feel like that was a chapter that I shut that day.
I hear you.
And Phoenix answered all the questions. You know, just knocked down. You know, I found out. You know, I did it for a very, very few reasons. The next day, they're going to sit in on a meeting at Monday Night Raw. And they're going to go over all their trends and topics. And I'm going to pop up on there. And they don't have a choice. And then they're going to see that I did better numbers as far as statistically speaking than any other wrestler that was on that pay-per-view. Now look at Paul Heyman. Look at ECW. Now take this back to the 90s. WCW, Dusty Rhodes. Take this back. I'm one fucking man. One man purchased a $2,500 ticket. Showed up in a wig and stood up on a chair and got thrown out for that. Broke no laws. So if you tell me, if you're into marketing, you tell me, break no laws, have no repercussions for your actions, for $2,500 you're going to trend worldwide.
It's genius.
Kiss my ass, everybody. Y'all can talk your shit. Guys who are in the ring, no disrespect. There's a reason why I did it before the bell rang. But there's also a reason why I didn't do it. I thought that the Cruiserweight was the only piece of advice I ever needed. He said, your only job is to get over. Fuck everyone.
And you did?
Fuck everyone.
That could be the title of your book. Fuck everyone.
I'm not fuck everybody, bro. I'm just understanding that nobody else in the locker room is going to pay my electric bill. The fans are. So how do we give back to them and give them what they want?